How to read a horoscope, how to read a birth chart, and how to make predictions. Several of my subscribers have requested me to make a horoscope analysis video. So here I am. Your request is taken, and with all humility, I am making this video. So hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are doing great, and I welcome you back to Purab's Astrology. Let's get started. Let's get into this horoscope and find out what is there in this one. So first, let me start from the basics. The basic is that there are 12 houses, and each house represents one particular aspect of your life. So the first house represents your body, your head, your personality, your confidence, your vitality, and the way you are or the way you appear in this world. The second house is the house of your wealth, liquidity, family, lineage, and the ethics that you get from your family. That is your father's side. The third house is the house of courage. The third house is the house of efforts. The third house is the house of your cousins, short distance travel, communication, media, etc., etc., etc. That is the third house. The fourth house is the house of your comforts, your mother, your property, your conveyances like car and everything, lands, buildings, and the overall happiness of your mind, the comforts that you get from the life. So that's why fourth house is very important. It is a very important Kendra Bhava, right? The fifth house is the house of luck, creativity, your first child. The fifth house is the house of love, romance. The fifth house is also the house of your education, that is your school education, and also your creativity and intelligence. And this is the house of Purva Punya, that is the good deeds that you have done in your past life. So a good placement of fifth house shows that you are very lucky in this life. The sixth house, here, this one, the sixth house. The sixth house is the house of disease, enemy, fighting, service, doctors, pets, and war, overcoming diseases, your servants. These are the things that are seen from the sixth house. The seventh house. The seventh house is the house of marriage, life partner, business partner, your business, trading, agreements, partnership, and everything that has to do with the opposite person. So the seventh house also shows how you appear in front of the world. That is the seventh house. Eighth house. Eighth house is the house of your longevity. Eighth house is the house of secret enemy, secret diseases, sudden transformation, accidents. Eighth house also shows your in-laws, right? It shows the savings of your life partner or your spouse, and it also shows the situation of your death, right? Ninth house. Ninth house is the house of your father, your gurus, your higher belief, religion, philosophy, philanthropy, the things that you do for the community, the greater good. It is also the house of your fortune or bhagya. This shows how fortunate you are in this life, right? So that is the ninth house. This is also a very auspicious house because this also shows your punyas, because it is the fifth house from the fifth house. So it is the bhavat bhavam, the fifth house of the fifth house, right? So it is very auspicious house. 10th house. 10th house is the house of your career, the work environment, status, name, fame, authority, and rules and regulations, whether you'll be following it or not following it, and your bosses, how your bosses will be treating you. And the 10th house is also the house of throne. So if you have a very strong 10th house, then you will become an emperor someday. 11th house. 11th house is the house of your network circle, your incoming gains, your elder siblings, your community, and desires and fulfillment of desires, and also income. So the money that you get, the income that you earn, that is seen from the 11th house of your horoscope. 12th house. 12th house is the house of foreign settlement, bed comforts, expenses. It is the house of your ancestors. 12th house is the house of isolation and moksha. So the overall, fulfillment of desires and then renouncing the world and going into oneness with God. That is seen from the 12th house. So coming to this horoscope now. First, whenever you do a horoscope analysis, see the position of the first house, planets in the first house, and the placement of the Lord of the first house. So first you can see that moon is placed here in the ascendant itself, in the sign of Aquarius. So this person is Aquarius ascendant and Aquarius moon sign, that is Kumbha Rashi and Kumbha Lagna. So moon is your emotions, right? Moon is your mind. Whatever keeps coming to your mind is seen from the placement of moon in the horoscope. Now moon is placed in the first house of this chart. So this person is always thinking about himself. What should I do? How to improve myself? How to improve my personality? And this person is only emotional about himself, because the entire focus of his mind and emotions is going into the ascendant, the first house, which is himself. So people who have moon in the first house, especially Kumbha Lagna people, they are really selfish, right? Please don't mind me telling this, but they are very self-oriented also, right? Now you can see in this chart that the Lord of the Lagna, which is Saturn, is getting exalted in the 9th house, and it has gone 9 places away. So this is a very fortunate placement. And Saturn getting exalted in the 9th house shows that this person will write his own fortune, and there will be a lot of involvement of this person's father or gurus in shaping the person's personality, because the Lagna Lord in the 9th house getting exalted shows good experience from guru and fatherly people. Also, Lagna Lord getting exalted shows that this person will enjoy overall good health and comforts, right? So first you see the first house, the Lord of the first house, how many places it has gone away, it is getting exalted, debilitated, and then you see the planets in the first house. So moon in the first house, making the person self-oriented, self-obsessed, and emotional about his own self, right? The second house is Pisces, right? And also the 11th house is Sagittarius. So Jupiter is the Lord of the 11th house and the second house, and it is placed in the 6th house of court cases, litigation, service, right? So this shows that this person will get all his income by giving service to somebody, or through litigation and court cases, or by taking a loan and then doing a business or service for himself, because the 11th Lord going into the 6th house and the second Lord going into the 6th house. Planets, even though exalted in the 6th house, always don't give auspicious result, right? So the 11th house is the house of your elder sibling and your network circle, and the second house is the house of your family, your father's side especially. Placed in the 6th house shows that this person will always have discord with his elder sibling, with his network circle, and with his family regarding money matters, because this is also money, this is also money, and this is also litigation. So because of that, problems related to money. The third house, the Lord of the third house is placed along with Sun and Venus, right? So this shows that this person will have a lot of partnership with his younger siblings, his neighbors, and association with his relatives, that is his cousin brothers. And this person will use his cousins, his younger brothers and siblings in his business partnership, right? But Mars is in the sign of Leo, and Mars is with Sun, so he will also have ego problems with his younger sibling, with his neighbors, with his partners, right? And he will invest a lot of energy in partnership. Now Mars is also the Lord of the 10th house of status, reputation, and career. So this is going 10 places away in the 7th house and in the sign of Leo, where Sun is also placed with Mars. So this debilitated Rahu, even though it is debilitated in the 10th house, will take all advantage using the Lord Mars, and this person will actually use his spouse, his life partner, his business partner, and he will do dealings with them, and through that he will maintain his status. Ketu in the 4th house, in the sign of Taurus. This shows that this person has got the best property, best mother, best comforts, best cars and everything in his life, in his initial life, because Ketu in Taurus shows the fulfillment of everything which is related to Taurus in the initial life, that is till the age of 42. So this person must have had the best homely environment, the best mother, the best family comforts, good parents and parental support. But after the age of 42, this person would have got separated from his family because his entire focus is into career. Rahu. So Rahu is the focus, the importance, and Ketu is detachment. So this person will easily get property, comforts, but he will not value that because his entire focus is on career. And Rahu is debilitated here, so he'll be very desperate. Rahu in Scorpio, really desperate about career, and this person will do anything or any means to fulfill his career and his ambitions. The Lord of the fifth house, Mercury, is getting exalted in the eighth house, but eighth house is not a good house, right? So even though this person has good Purva Punya and he is lucky, but his first child is placed in the eighth house of transformation. So after the birth of his first child, there will be a lot of transformation in his life and also the life of the child. And placement of fifth lord in the eighth house is not good for the overall health and well-being of the child, right? So he will have problems with the first child. Jupiter exalted in the sixth house. This will give him ability to win over enemies because Jupiter is the planet which is divine blessings. So because of the blessings of gurus and also judge and also fatherly people and also his network circle, because network circle in the sense friends, he will manage his enemies and he will conquer his enemies. And also one more noticeable thing is that the Lord of the sixth house is eighth away in the first house. So the enemy is getting transformed and going to the ascendant. So anybody who will do enmity with such a person will actually get transformed, and always this person will win because the Lagna Lord is exalted. Sun in the seventh house along with Mars and Venus is combust here, right? You can see combust. So whenever Venus is combust, then this person will always have problems, ego problems with the women and also his spouse, right? And Sun in the seventh house in own sign shows that this person will be married to a person who is into government service, because Sun in the Leo in the seventh house, right? And this person will also gain a lot from his partner. But the problem here is that Sun, even though it is in Leo in its own sign, but in the seventh house it loses directional strength because Sun gets strength in the first house, and even though it is in the own sign in the seventh house, but it will behave like a debilitated Sun. But because it is in own sign, so it will get marriage, but problems will be there. The seventh house is also Marak, right? So whenever he will be running the dasha of either Sun or Mars or Venus, that is the time when this person needs to be careful, because that is the time when there will be problems related to longevity. Eighth house, Mercury, exalted in the eighth house, will give him a lot of money from others. Whenever he will do partnership, he will gain from them, especially during the dasha and antardasha of Mercury. This will also give him a lot of financial support from his spouse, right? And this exalted Mercury will save him from transformation and accidents because of his logical ability, because he will use his intelligence to overcome transformative situations. Saturn in the ninth will show that ever since this person is born, his father would have gradually developed, but his father would have faced a lot of problems in his initial life, right? Now Rahu in the 10th house of career, status, name, fame, authority. A debilitated Rahu in the 10th house shows that this person is highly desperate to overthrow himself upon other people. He wants to show that he is the king, and because Rahu is debilitated here, so he will use debilitated means to show his status. He will be forceful that I am the king, I am an emperor, I am this, I am that, and like that. And this person will be ready to stoop to any level to do business. He can sell doormats and he can also sell beer and alcohol, exotic things, or poisons, because Rahu in the Scorpio shows a hippie like energy. So this person can sell things which are not usually sold by conventional people. 11th lord, 6th house, money from service, money from business, taking loan and doing business, right? And the 12th lord getting exalted in the 9th house. So this person has the full support of his ancestors, his pitris, the divine mother, and because this is Aquarius ascendant, so this person will generally have inclination towards Kali, because Saturnian people have a lot of inclination towards Ma Kali. So that will also be there, right guys? So overall you see that this horoscope is a very strong horoscope, but exalted planets in the 6th house, the 7th house, the 8th house. So even though planets are exalted, but still if this would have happened in Kendras, that is the 4th or the 10th, then it would have been great. But yes, Vipreet Rajyog, exalted planets in the 6th and 8th, Vipreet Rajyog, so where other people will fail, this person will come in and he will become victorious. So this is very good for a person who is into armed forces, defense, politics, because the 6th house is strong, the 8th house is strong, the 12th house is strong. But this debilitated Rahu will also give him accidents. Even though it is placed in the 10th house, but it doesn't matter. Whenever Rahu is in Scorpio, because it is carrying the energy of Scorpio, so this person will go through a lot of accident troubles during the Antardasha or Mahadasha of Rahu. So needs to be very careful during the Mahadasha or Antardasha or the Prandasha of Rahu, right, guys? So this is how horoscope predictions are done. So if you have to suggest gemstone to this person, then you can suggest the gemstone of Saturn only, not Mercury, not Venus, because Venus is in the Marakstan, the 7th house, so don't wear diamond. Mercury, even though exalted, but still in the 8th house. So 8th house is a Dusthana, not good. So this person can wear a, blue sapphire, right? And why he should not wear diamond? Because Venus is combust here. So whenever you have planets with Ketu or planets which are combust, if you wear the gemstone of those planets, then that gives you a lot of problems. So I hope you understood how I do horoscope analysis. And if you have any questions, if you want me to do a personal consultation about your horoscope, then you can always contact me from my contact number or comment section. That's it for today, guys. I love you all. Adios. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.